your Journals Out Loud. I am your lovely and captivating host, Louise Palanker, here with a panel of wise and very wonderful children. Actually, they're more than children. They're teenagers. They're on their way to adult life. And this is what the show is about. We're talking about all the tough stuff that kids deal with and all the good stuff that kids get to experience. And we've got some wonderful guests in the studio with us tonight. We have the cast and crew from a very new and exciting short film entitled The Breakout, a rock opera. And the colon part is my favorite part of the title. Because, I mean, you could have gone with a semicolon, but you went, nope, we're full doing this.
Yeah.
All the way colon. All the way
like
colon. Nothing semi about this colon, baby. So we're here. Am I right? But sometimes when the kids laugh at me, it's really just kind of like that. You know, it's not like, oh, well, that was really funny, Wheezy. It's they laugh out of embarrassment for me.
I've been there.
Did you pick up on that?
Always.
The energy?
It's their job as teenagers.
So we've got Chris Edgar, who is the composer slash... What's your title on this film?
I'm the writer slash composer.
Writer slash composer of...
Hyphen composer sometimes. Composer, yeah.
Did you compose that title for yourself?
I did, all by myself.
Well done, well done. And then we have your director. Would you like to introduce her? We can round robin this.
This is the Jenn Page.
Jenn Page, everybody. And Jenn, would you like to introduce your star?
Oh, yes. Because I've discovered her. I'm just going to claim that right now so the world never... Ron Howard, you don't get a chance. I discovered Emma Farabee. Talented actress.
Everybody. So, I know on Facebook what once they're grooming each other. So
Very close.
Gotta look out for our people.
They are a tribe.
Like, I mean, if there's anything, you gotta...
Yeah, you gotta take care of it. That's what a community does.
Absolutely.
We hold each other up to the light. So if you were to describe, like the elevator pitch, everyone knows what the elevator pitch is, right? Mozart, don't make faces at me. What's the elevator pitch?
It's like your spiel.
And you're in an elevator with Ron Howard.
And you've got 10 seconds
It's
to
important
impress
that
him.
Ron Howard's name comes up at least 7 times during the show tonight. So you're in an elevator with Ron Howard, and you press floor 3, and he presses... forget it. You both press floors, and you have like 4 floors to tell him about your big new movie. And so you have to say it. All right, so...
You actually just gave me an idea. That
Okay.
If I'm ever in an elevator with Ron Howard, make sure he pushes his button first so I can go to the next floor up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Or his floor.
Yeah. Oh, we just happen to get off the same floor.
We're still talking, Ron Howard. Let's keep talking.
Oh, you're going to the men's room. This is going to get weird. But
But you know what? I always felt male.
okay, we can't even get to the gender bathroom issue.
No, wait. Oh, no. It's a full figure show. Okay, so you have let's say 10 seconds to tell Ron Howard about your movie. Who wants to do it?
He does.
Okay, Chris.
A high school misfit goes on a quest to rescue the girl he loves from a mental hospital.
And it's a musical.
It's a musical.
That was really good. If I were Ron Howard, I would green light that sucker.
You hear that, Ron Howard?
yeah.
Guys, tweet him.
Are we up to 7 yet? Can we move on?
we've
It's time to start talking about the Fonz. All right. So it's exciting. You made a movie, and then what happens next? What phase are we at right now?
We are making our festival premiere, our world premiere actually, at Dances with Films on June 3rd at the world-famous Chinese Theater in Hollywood.
I'll be there.
Will you?
Awesome.
There's swag in it for me, right?
If you come, we'll find something.
Like a hat, maybe?
We'll
Or
figure
a
it out.
mug? Is it as cool as the Journal's mug? You guys need mugs.
We need mugs.
But they should be mugs that sing and dance. Right. All right. So what inspired you? Who wrote the story to the film?
I did.
So since it's all singing, all dancing, then the songs are the script.
It's largely sung through. There is a little bit of spoken dialogue, but the singing is my favorite part because I'm the music guy.
All right. So when we go to see the film, what are we going to experience? It takes place mostly at a school, and there's a girl who's in trouble.
Yes, she's cutting, and she writes a dark poem about the practice of cutting, and this gets her into some trouble with the administration, or they get concerned about her, and that leads to a chain of events that causes her to be committed to a hospital.
That's who Emma plays.
Hello.
So Emma, have you had any experience with this, or friends who have had these types of experiences?
I personally have not, but I have had friends who have gone through this, yes.
Our show, Journals Out Loud, is the Out Loud portion of a teen social network, an app called Journals, which you can download in the iTunes App Store. And we have a lot of kids in there communicating already, so self-harm is a huge issue. And it kind of overlaps with a lot of other problems. It's usually not the first problem. It's usually a symptom, but then it becomes its own problem because it's such an addictive behavior. So what did you learn through making this film about how to help kids that are experiencing this problem?
Well, I believe that Scar, the reason why she was cutting was because she believed that there was no other way out. There was no people around her. There was no anything to help her. And she believed that cutting was a way to let out her emotion in some way. So I believe I would tell anyone who's going through this that there are people around you that will help you, and that there are better options, there are better things, there are better outlooks. You know what I mean? So that's what I would say.
And what can you do if you, in the film, there's a boy who likes your character. What's her name?
Skara, or Kara.
Her name is Kara, but the
Kara.
kids call her
I was
Skara.
I was thinking, who named her that? If they didn't want her to cut.
Yeah.
All right, I get it. So there's a boy who likes her and he wants to help her, and this is also a really common question that we get. Like, how do I help my friend? I'm pretty sure that she's self-harming. She's got an eating disorder. She's suicidal. All of the above, or some of the above. Like, how do we help a friend who's going through these problems?
I think this is I think it's kind of complicated because every person reacts in a different way. If you try to help them, they might freak out. If you don't help them at all or don't try to leave them alone, it could also end up badly. But I think what I would say is find a balance. Let them know that you are there for them and be there for them no matter what. If they reach out, if they reach out to you, no matter what, always be there for them. They need that.
And what inspired you, Chris, to make a movie about this topic?
Well, my mother is actually a psychotherapist, and she's worked with a lot of kids who cut and who have been hospitalized and so on. And she was telling me actually how easy it is for kids to get committed to a hospital. I thought it would take a court order to do this, but actually it's really just like a couple of responsible adults. And I said, what if some of these kids who are kind of on the margin like this and tend to be in these situations said they're not going to take it? And so that was the basis for the story. So
the basis is, what you're saying is she didn't feel like she needed to be locked up. She needed some other type of therapy, but not to be. Because I think there's something called a 5150.
Yeah.
And that means that if somebody says the word suicide and they're underage, or if they do if they exhibit some sort of behavior that's dangerous, that they have 3 days of committed therapy. And I guess that's just maybe the adult version of, we want to make sure you don't die. Yeah. And we're going to be really careful about this because we take these issues really seriously. But are you taking the point of view that that's overboard and that's not what the kid needs?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's a musical, so to some extent it's over the top. And we have Albert, a character who has this kind of Don Quixote complex, like he wants to save Scar and sees her as sort of the bird with broken wings. And that's what leads him to undertake this quest to free her from the hospital. But we're not necessarily taking any point of view on whether kids and how long they should be committed and so on.
Because he has his own journey.
Yes.
Yes, he does.
So how did you get involved, Jen?
I mean, the easy answer is Chris called and said, I have a rock opera. I said, yes. I don't even know you, but yes. I mean, who doesn't want to direct a rock opera?
I can't think of anyone. Ron Howard.
If he doesn't, I'll direct his. I mean, I had directed the IWTV Awards show, and one of the Miss Fancher, Leah McKendrick, who plays Miss Fancher, our teacher, she, I guess, recommended him to call me because I had done this big elaborate musical number for this IWTV Awards show, the show that has no money and shouldn't have had a musical number. So,
but you did it anyway.
That's what I do. I take chances. They pay
it was
off.
Awesome.
They work.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you noticed our very attractive panel of teenagers?
They're very attractive.
I know Mozart has some. A lot of these kids are singer/dancers themselves, and so they may have some more technical questions about how you guys went after your dreams and pursued them. Go ahead, Mozart.
I haven't. Wait, I need to look at my phone because I don't want to forget it.
She's gonna look at her.
I wrote them down.
Yeah, you did. One of them had to do with how do you go about making your dreams come true if you want to be a director in Hollywood? Like, where do you start?
the answer that everybody hates, but it's the truth, is you just do it. You literally just pick up. That's what I did. I was started as an actor a million years ago, and then I picked up a camera and I filmed a little music video to a song I liked with some actors. I learned to cut it together, and I was like, this is what I want to do. And then I made a short film with me and a camera and a bunch of kids and cut that together, and that got in festivals. It just literally there was no help. Like, you just do it.
You just do it. I do think that rule applies for pretty much anything. Like, if you want to be a surgeon, you just start cutting people open.
Absolutely. Why not?
Say that.
But for the most part, you really have to go after it with like this sort of almost reckless attitude.
You
of,
have
like,
to, because there is no rule book. It's not like, okay, I'm going to be a surgeon, so I have to go to school for this many years and I have to learn these skills. As a director, everybody has their own vision and everybody has their own movies they want to make. So yes, I mean, I'm not going to say you should go to film school, because I don't think you should. You don't have to go to film school, but you have to learn. So it's either the school of hard knocks or it's film school, or whatever.
Right. And especially in the creative arts, you have to just do it so that you can show people a little bit of what you do, and then they'll maybe give you a chance to do more. But there's so much opportunity for us to do what we love without, the gates are wide open.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that when you go through the gates, there's a lot of other people that
That's why you have to learn and get better and grow and challenge yourself and surround yourself with really talented people that make you look better.
You have your question, Mozart?
I do. This is for you. What is, in your opinion, what is the key to make a great music video?
For me, what I love doing music videos. Like, it's one of my favorite things to do. And I think part of it is having a super open mind about where it can go. A lot of times right now, music videos are all the same. It's like, it's somebody very beautiful, Selena Gomez, whoever. They're beautiful. They're in the camera singing. They look pretty. And to me, other than the one video with Selena that you cannot take your eyes off of her, I cannot remember the name of the song, because I don't want to say all of her, but artists keep doing the same thing. And I feel like to make a great video, I kind of go back to like Michael Jackson and like these artists who made stories and made these really powerful videos that you couldn't take your eyes off of. But there's other things too that, it's you as a director. Like, what inspires you? Are you drawn to lights and light flares and smoke and dance numbers? Or are you drawn to a simple story with a singer and a guitar and a country road? There really is no right or wrong. It's just what speaks to your heart. I think that's any art we do, as an actor, as a composer, whatever. You got to do what your heart is telling you to do, and you can't go wrong with that.
Mozart makes a lot of music videos. She's really very, very good. I don't know who makes your videos with you, but they're wonderful. Who do you work with?
My mom.
Your mom does that? Unbelievable. It's really great. She's a singer-songwriter and actress as well. Any other questions for our guests? Anything you want to touch upon? Hey, I have an idea. You could ask them a question.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
What do you want to know, Emma?
What is a good
I have a good question that you would ask. I'm Emma.
Okay.
What's your favorite scene that I'm in?
Oh, okay.
Oh, my God, Chris, let's have you answer that one. He's going to go, all of them. She's my favorite. I can't get enough Emma Farabee.
I do listen to the song that Emma recorded from the beginning of the show, basically every day. I've cut it down to once per day at this point, so I feel like I'm getting better.
Is that kind of like an ego thing, though? Because you wrote the music.
Well, I mean, the way that Emma did it. Yeah, well, I was an aspect of it. But, Emma was the assist that put it through the basketball hoop or some kind of sports analogy like that.
So when you listen to your own music and it's being performed by really great artists, are you just kind of like dancing around the house going, I wrote this?
No, he literally is. He sent me videos. Like, evil laugh maniacal.
There was a video where I listened to one song that she does with the male lead where I was breaking down into tears. But and then another one where I was dancing around. So, yeah, I have different reactions, but they're all a lot of fun. Yeah.
Which, as a director, when you send a cut to your producer, composer, writer, and they send you back like weird email or long text that's basically like, wah, wah. You're like, okay, I guess he likes it.
I think this is good. Ken?
My question's for Emma. Out of
hi.
like the whole, hi.
Hello.
In this like musical experience, like what was the thing that you were most worried about, or the thing that you were kind of hesitant about, and then that you feel like you conquered after?
Oh, well, to be honest, I think the range of the songs, I have a naturally deep voice, and to try to hit some of these high notes, it was kind of terrifying for me, because I was like, okay, I've never been able to do this before, even though I've tried in the past. And to be honest,
Here's the thing about Emma. If you want to talk about determination, she read for Scar. She wanted Scar so bad that Chris, you may not even know this, because Emma came to my house as many times as she could. She was like, no, let's work on it again. And she's like, I think it's too high. And she just would not stop. And we worked on the acting and everything. She went out and bought pink hair. I was like, you don't have to do that. She's like, I need this role. Like, she was so determined to get it. And then when she came in, she knocked Chris's socks off. He had nobody else that he wanted.
We did like one take of each song in the studio, maybe 2 takes, because I said we might as well do another one just to be safe, to feel like we're in a studio and we're doing takes, because that's what you should do. But I mean, really was not necessary. Like by that point, she just knew the songs as if she'd been doing them for years.
But she was really nervous about those high notes, and I kept saying, "Don't do it in your voice. Stop doing what you think it's supposed to be, and do what you feel it's supposed to be."
Did you guys hear what Pink said last night on The Voice? She said if there's a note that you think you can't hit, you just scrunch your butt. Really? She said it works.
It's true.
And it's Pink, so I believe it. We have a clip. Chris, you sent us a clip, and would you like to set up the clip? What are we about to see?
We are about to see an early scene where Skara is reading her poem about cutting to the class, to her high school English class.
It sets off the drama.
Which Emma's never seen before.
Scratching, clawing, sharpness, gnawing, sickness, drains out, wipe the stains out, demon, excised in blood, baptized, and back to living in your world of life.
Oh, what a tease.
Wow.
Wow.
I would lock that kid right up.
You hit those high notes. Wow, that was really good.
That was wonderful.
Emma.
thank you.
The music. I want to hear more. That was wonderful. But you know what we're going to do is we're going to help kids. Are you guys on board with that?
Of course.
All right.
No. No, actually.
Ken, would you read the first question from Jair? I can never read screen names. I'm the worst.
Jair Natich.
Yeah.
How do you, it's
I
easy.
don't
Jair
know.
Natish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jair Natich.
When I have a crush on a guy and then I finally date him, I don't have feelings for him anymore. What does this mean?
You're a teenager.
Problem solved. Next question. I don't know. I mean, the easiest thing is to say that to ask, is this about the chase, or do you just want to be liked? Do you just want to know that other people like you, or maybe you're not really ready to date? Mozart.
Yeah, there's this song by Justin Bieber, and it's called The Feeling. And it's like, am I in love with you, or am I in love with the feeling?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you're kind of fantasizing about something, but it's not, once you get into it, it's not that.
I mean, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Wow, I'm psychic.
No, I mean, along the same lines, I was just going to say, I think this person was more involved with what idea of what the relationship with him would have been, and then finding out who he really is wasn't exactly what she was thinking.
But could it be more deeply rooted in not really having a strong sense of self yet, and just wanting to seek validation through other people's love? Because it could be a little bit of toying with people to fill up your own reservoir, and maybe that's not really fair to do to someone, to have them chase you and then dump them. I don't know if that's really.
Well, I think too there could be like the level of this person was really committed to be with this guy because they had a crush for a long time, and then they didn't realize that the feeling went away, but they were still in the chase in some ways, and they were like, once they got into the relationship, then they were like, oh, well, why was I doing this in the first place?
I know, but she's not saying it happened once. She's saying when I have a crush on a guy, this is
I
a
read
pattern.
that.
Yeah. So
Well, that doesn't change. That's not even a teenager thing, though. I mean, that Adults do that their entire lives too, especially guys. I think guys are really prone to that chase. And they
Yeah.
be with as soon as they
Really?
get the girl, they're done. It's
What?
a-
Really?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's more like, yeah, it's about the chase. It's like sometimes, but like, I mean, when you finally are with the person, it's a good thing, and you kind of are happy about it. I feel like it's more of a girl
You're a
thing,
very nice
actually.
guy, though.
Oh.
You don't know me.
You don't know
You
him.
don't
I
know
was
me,
literally about to
okay?
say, like, you do not know
Yes,
him.
you do. He is a nice guy. You are
I
correct.
can tell.
Louise, stop.
Ruining his reputation.
I
Bad
don't-
boy image. Yeah.
I say that both sexes could easily blame the other sex because it looks like they're sorry, I keep hitting the microphone. It looks like they're doing that to us, but I feel like it's an insecurity thing. It's a like, oh, I have to just prove, like, you think you're chasing something that you want, but you're actually chasing this affirmation that you're lovable, and then when you get it, you're that's been satisfied. And
Okay, cool. Now I need a new one.
yeah, yeah. So I think that they need to work on themselves before they continue chasing boys, because it's just really not fair. Ken.
Oh, I feel like, I mean, if this keeps happening, maybe before you actually get with the guy or accept the relationship, maybe realize why you're getting into the relationship in the first place, or realize why you like them ever, and maybe like write a list. But if you
Pros
write a
and
list,
cons.
then maybe you're like, oh, okay, maybe I don't really like this guy, or maybe I do, and this is not going to end up like the other ones.
Yeah, make sure you really like him first. Like, make sure. Instead of just like, oh, yeah, I think I like him. And then when he likes you back, you're like, oh, okay, I'll date you. Like, you know.
So the question ends with, what does this mean? And I believe I'm telling you what I think it means, which is that you need to spend some time working on who you are and have a stronger sense of yourself before you ask people to love you, because that's a big commitment to ask of somebody. It's not like saying, can I borrow a quarter? It's like saying, I need your heart, and then
It's like saying, can I borrow a quarter for the rest of your life?
that's a lot of quarters.
Okay,
That's the point.
You can't even do that kind of math. But yeah, I just think it you're asking about what does this mean in terms of who you are, and I would ask you to ask, what does it mean in terms of what are you doing to people, because people's hearts are not this disposable. So you just need to really give that some thought before you continue in this pattern, and then read some like self-help books or something. Or join a religion. I don't know. I'm out of ideas. Anyone? Should we move on to the next question? Would you like to read the next question, Mozart?
Yes. Okay.
Oh, this question is the bomb.
No, no, it is
It's
not
like-
the bomb.
no, it's just
Do not
so-
hype this question.
It's
There's no need to hype this question.
Sorry.
You're saying it's the bomb. People are gonna listen to. They're gonna be like, oh.
Yeah, don't hype it.
No, because it's different than the questions we usually get. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's so pessimistic that it's just adorable. Anyway, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's adorable. Okay. I live in America, and I don't want any of the candidates to be president. Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, or Bernie Sanders. So I want to move to Canada because I'm also...
See? It's that
I
good.
can't laugh. You're going to throw me off my game. Okay. So I want to move to Canada because I'm also a citizen in Canada. I'm sorry.
You have so much fun. It's great.
I was doing really good, and then she started laughing. Okay. And I don't want to live under the new president. Okay. So I want to move to Canada because I'm also a citizen in Canada, and I don't want to live under the new president. How do I get my parents to say yes for our family to move from Texas to Canada? What should I do?
You can't just leave the country because you're unhappy with something. You have to stay here and be part of the change that you
Besides, Bernie's not even going to get it, so you don't have to worry about him.
want. She doesn't like any of the above.
I know
She
I love
checked-
Bernie, but
she
like
checked
he's not
none
going
of
to
the
get
above.
it.
She's checking none of the above. Let's whose hand is up? Josh?
I guess. I mean,
All right.
Yeah, Josh.
I literally went to the app and I was like, I'm gonna answer questions, and I saw this. I was like, nope, walked right out. Walked right out.
It's like that meme.
So, I mean, there's really nothing you can do to convince your parents to leave the country. I mean, you can
Don't
share
try.
your
Don't
thoughts
try.
about it, and they may laugh, and they may not laugh, and
They probably will laugh.
and you'll probably be in America.
I think there's a couple problems with her question.
Please help me.
Wait,
Let's
really?
start with one.
We need you.
If you really want to go to Canada, please go. Bye-bye. We don't need that kind of attitude in America. Let's have people, like you said, people who want to make awesome things that happen. I almost said "Make America Great," but I was like, no, that's not what I'm saying.
That if you're gonna say that, you got to put it on a hat, lady.
Then I got to shoot myself in the face. No,
With the gun, you'll be allowed to have.
that's true. But if you really want to go, I'm sure there's boarding schools, so go enjoy that. I totally got thrown off by my thing is, I feel like you have to educate yourself. Like this, I feel like you guys are the most educated teenagers I've ever sat with. My daughter is 13 and she's the same way. She listens to the POTUS channel. Yeah. She learns about the candidates. She has a very strong opinion. And I feel like this person is just going off what they're seeing on social media and on memes. And you cannot live your life that way because everything you see is wrong. It's hype.
I feel like also that you have to imagine that this child is also 13 and that she's mainly going off of what she hears her parents saying, and that it's possible that.
But then her parents would want to move to Canada,
well,
so I'm thinking maybe she's not going off.
No, I don't think her parents are ready to move to Canada, but they're probably not happy with any of the candidates, and there's probably a lot of talk in the household about the country is doomed, and so she's scared.
Which is why she needs to educate herself.
Right. So I can understand a 13-year-old feeling frightened because her candidate didn't make it. Her candidate was probably one of the other guys who didn't make it, and one of the other Republican.
Who, believe me, are much scarier.
Well, that's what we think, but that's not what her family thinks. So you have to look at it from that point of view, that she's being taught to be frightened. I don't think you can talk your family into moving to Canada. What you can say to your parents is, please help me not be scared. Because maybe they don't understand that they're scaring their child.
Well, and if it's the parents, don't go to your parents. Talk to other people, other adults. Listen, learn other things. Because if the parents are the ones scaring her.
Move to Canada when you're 18.
I've watched an interview with Donald Trump, and that scared me alone. Like this.
Well, like if we were going based off memes alone, then the whole population would think that Ted Cruz is the Zodiac killer. Like if we're going off memes. But like there was that whole thing with Canada, and it was like a fake thing. But if Donald Trump becomes elected, you can totally move to our island. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? There was that whole thing about this Canadian island. I don't even know if it was.
I think it was like
no,
Ireland.
I understand what you're saying, but
yeah.
when Obama was running for president, there were a lot of Republicans who wanted to move to Canada, and then there was a meme that came out and said, "Oh yeah, you should move to Canada, where there's gun control, where there's gay marriage,
right?
Where there's
that's what I was. Yeah.
You know, because Canada's pretty liberal. So if you're going there to get away from Donald Trump, totally get it, but I don't think you should. If you're going there to get away from Hillary or Bernie,
you're going in the wrong place, buddy."
They were pretty much all Hillarys and all Bernies in Canada. But I think politics is so tricky because, you know, it comes, the emotion that it kind of brings out in us is hits to our very core, and whether we feel safe, whether we feel that we're being heard, that our viewpoint is being recognized by the powers that be, you know, whether this is the place that we belong. And you know, the country is getting increasingly divided, so that there's a lot of families where what they're hearing from their parents or from their relatives is that nobody in government reflects our views, so we should leave. And I just think you should think about going into politics and learning and listening to POTUS and channels like that, and really just educating yourself and saying, maybe I need to learn more about the issues, and maybe then I wouldn't be as frightened.
Not to mention that you think the grass is always greener somewhere else. But the U.S. is probably the best. I mean, we're probably the best country to live in if you're with your, you know, smartphones and your Facebook and your, you know, McDonald's and all this stuff that you have access to. I feel like the people who complain, they need to go visit somewhere like a third world country and realize how good they do have it.
Canada's such a nice country, though.
Yes, but it's really cold, and she lives in Texas.
I know.
She's going to need a parka.
Maybe this is like a Midnight in Paris situation.
I lived in Texas. I lived in Texas.
Has anyone seen that movie, Midnight in
Paris? Yeah, I've seen that movie.
And how he always wishes like he went back to that period of time, and then he finally went there, and the people from that period of time always wish they went somewhere else. And maybe in Canada they wish that they were here because they don't enjoy it there. So,
but they have a really hot prime minister, so I think
that is true.
All right, the next question, Josh, would you please read the question from Nate? Oh no, the question from
Find Your Beauty.
Oh, I could actually read that screen name.
Okay, my boyfriend just broke up with me after a 10-month relationship. He wants to still be civil and eventually be friends. I'm so hurt. Just the thought of seeing him makes me feel sick. I never feel like this. I have always regarded myself as strong kind of girl, and now I feel empty. Does it get better? How can I get over this? Any good songs to help me get through it?
Any good songs, Chris?
Well, there's the songs in the Breakout.
Oh my God! Don't ask Chris these things. He's so dark and twisted.
Well, there's some triumphant scores, like Jerry Goldsmith and Hans Zimmer and things of that nature. When I want to get inspired, that I listen to.
I think she's looking for like Katy Perry.
Single
roar.
ladies.
Listen to Hans Zimmer. Listen to the.
What's so great is you can say a song title to a kid and they can be listening to it 3 seconds later. So I would say go to YouTube and type in "When I'm Back on My Feet Again" by Michael Bolton. Oh yeah. And then call me and you're gonna be fine. Yeah.
Never gonna.
Any good songs, you guys? Who has a good song for a heartbreak?
A lot of Seal.
A lot of Seal.
That's
go
so
to town on
sad.
Seal.
I have a song and it's mine. I have a
your
song.
song. Okay.
Yeah, it's called Dear Heart. And it's like talking to your heart about why stuff like this happens.
I feel like you're just making yourself sadder. Like you go to the you go to songs that are like you go to Pink. What's the song by Pink? Somebody give you the name.
Who knew?
What's that song? Everyone else figure it out.
Perfect.
Oh, the one where she's like,
Just give me a
"Na, na,
reason."
na, na, na."
Stronger.
Oh my gosh, a bunch of teenagers. Nobody knows Pink right now.
No, like
What is it about?
what sing part of the song.
The one song that like if you sing it you can't help but like dance.
I'm
No.
coming up, so you better get this party started. Coming
Louise.
up.
Na na na
I'm
na
coming.
na na.
That's the one I was
na,
saying,
na,
and she
na.
said no.
No?
Na 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 na.
No,
Oh,
those
I
are
think
two
I know
different
what you're talking. I think wait, it's
We'll
not.
find it.
My
will
brain
find it.
is just too slow right
We
now.
will find it.
I know what you're.
It's flipping through.
There's
the
a lot of
Rolodex.
fire
Do you
in
have a
it.
music
Isn't
video?
there like a fire in the background? She has
Oh,
her
firework, baby!
hair.
You're a firework. Baby,
That
you're
is
a
I know
not
the song.
Pink.
Baby, you're a firework.
I mean, I
Are
have
we
to
off
like,
topic?
I think I have it on my phone.
in
I'm
my
gonna look
phone.
it up right now.
All right, so you know what?
Listen to
Breakups,
Hello.
it takes time. They're time and space. Those are the two cures for a broken heart. Time away from the person, space away from the person. You will recover. It feels like you won't, but you will. Yes, Ken?
500 Days of Summer. Watch that movie.
Oh,
That will help.
Yeah.
it's so sad.
So
Wait, we're plugging movies now?
Is it
Watch
Try?
like Gremlins or something.
Is it Try?
gremlin.
Something that's not about relationships at
Because
all.
then she's gonna be like, he's a gremlin to my life, and then it's
Wait,
gonna
we're
be
plugging
like,
movies
Is it
again?
Try? Is that the
Eat,
song
Pray, Love.
Try? No.
There's probably like a
Gotta
really good
get
Aretha
up.
Franklin song about getting over someone too,
I'll
isn't there?
just go to my Spotify.
What's that Aretha Franklin song about women are, I don't know. Any
Oh, I
Aretha
know
Franklin
that
song will work because you just sing
I
it really
always-
loud. Josh, would you? Oh, who hasn't
He
read?
ju-
I'll read this question from Nimbus 2000. My friend and I have been friends for 5 years. For years, whenever we were together, she would make fun of people and I would tag along. I never thought she would make fun of me, but recently I saw a text from her to another friend of mine making fun of my religion and the way I look. I am so hurt by her. After I found out about the text, we got into a fight, and for once I stood up for myself. We haven't talked since, and I want to tell her how I feel. She never takes anything seriously, so when I text her, I know she's just going to show it to our other friends and make fun of me. I need help on what to say to her. Ken.
just don't. Just stop, because she's not your friend, and
Yeah.
whatever you say,
Mhm.
you're just gonna dig yourself a bigger hole. Because this
Yeah.
person, there are people who will literally make fun of everything you say, and that's just hitting a wall, and there's no dealing with a wall because
Mhm.
it is an inanimate object. So just don't deal with it.
Also, this might be kind of karma because you said for years whenever we were together, she'd make fun of people and I would tag along. So, like, now you're getting the other end of what you've been doing for years. So now you kind of get how it feels. And, like, she shouldn't be doing this. Like, nobody should be doing this. But I agree with Kenneth. I'm sorry. I agree with Ken. And, just don't. It's not worth it. Just let it go. This is a toxic relationship, and you need to let it go.
Don't give me started.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you with just stop. Don't even try to continue it on because she is going to continue to make fun of you. I have had a personal experience with this as well, and I've done exactly that. I've told her the truth. I've told her, hey, this isn't really cool that you're doing this. She didn't care. She kept on making fun, kept on going on. There are people like that, and it's just not worth it. Sorry.
Oh, no.
sorry. To tag along, I think that's a type of peer pressure. And
Yeah, actually, I was thinking that too. But yeah, I was actually thinking that too.
yeah, I think it's a type of peer pressure. And
Yeah.
maybe she doesn't even want to do it, but her friend's doing it, and she's kind of looking at her like, dude, you're not even cool. Why aren't you doing it with me?
Yeah,
And you're
'cause
like,
if
oh,
she's
yeah,
doing it-
you have silly hair. And it's like, oh, God, okay. You know, why did I even do that? You know? And then you might have beat yourself up for it because you knew it wasn't right. So, yeah, I totally agree with you. Just stop. She's not your friend. Not even worth it.
I was looking at you like, who made fun of Emma?
Same thing. I was like, who am I gonna cut?
They're going to be hearing from me.
That's right. We got you, girl.
I actually think it's mostly just the peer pressure thing that she was talking about, because I think that if her friend weren't doing it, she would have never done that. Because I was actually in this exact position 4 years ago when I had this friend, and I was a very nice person. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a very nice person. I don't make fun of people, but I had this friend, and we were hanging out, and we both had like hats on, and they were like animal hats, and there was this one other girl who had an animal hat on, and she was kind of like, oh, like she's so sad, like she's all alone with her animal hat, like she's trying, but aw. And I kind of was like, oh yeah, but I wasn't fully like making fun of her, but I totally get what, like, where this is coming from, because I wasn't actively making fun of her, but I wasn't doing anything to stop her making fun of her. And I was like 10. Let me just say, I was 10. And I had
Explains the animal
Like
hats.
a year ago.
I know, yeah. And they were from Justice, by the way. Like, pink and everything. Anyway, not important. A different friend was like let me try and make sense here. I'm talking about a different friend now. She would make fun of me, and we just had this really toxic relationship where we would just get in fights so much, and like we would go off each other, and it was just crazy. And I'm not friends with her anymore. I haven't been friends with her for like 3 or 4 years, but I had a relationship that was very toxic. And yeah.
So I think what I want to say here is that when you get yourself in this type of situation, you feel like, I want her to know what I'm feeling, and if you tell me the right words to say, then she will know what I'm feeling. But you're assuming that she feels things the way you feel things, and she may not. So there's probably nothing that you can say that will be make fun of proof, because if she gets a text, there's no predicting what she's going to do with it. And if you've decided that this isn't how you're going to be behaving, then that's your decision to make. But you're not going to be able to convince her to do that with you. The other thing that's a lesson here is that you thought she wasn't making fun of you. She was making fun of people in front of you. That means as soon as you leave the room, guaranteed she's making fun of you. Mm-hmm. That's what those people do. So you just need a clean break. And I know you're so used to being her friend that it's going to feel really hollow. Like, how do I do my next day without her in it? But it's time for you to start finding people that are kind like you, because that's what you deserve to be around. That's who you deserve to be around. So would you like to read a question, Emma?
Really quick, I just want to say,
Yes, please.
Pink, raise your glass, people. Raise your glass.
Oh.
Blank looks. Yes, you cannot not be happy when that song is on. Just saying.
Dirty little freaks. Don't
love
you
it.
every ring
Yeah.
is young.
Good job. Good
We're back.
memory. You did that without
Wait, did
any-
you memorize that, or did you just check your phone?
Oh no! I have a
No.
Spotify. I have
Yeah.
a Spotify list
Yeah.
called Life is
Okay.
Magical that makes me happy. It's got all these songs that are like, you listen to this, you cannot be sad.
You are correct. I am in agreement. Would you read the question from Anonymous that begins, what does it mean? Emma?
I'm 16.
Is it? I'm 16, and
No, it says,
I'm pretty.
oh,
sure
did I
it's-
skip one?
Yeah,
Okay,
you
yeah.
skipped
like three.
Three.
Well, when they all come from the same person,
It makes sense.
Anonymous.
Of course.
I
yeah.
want to. I'm 16, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm 16.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm 16 and I'm pretty sure I'm straight, but a lot of times at parties when me and my friends get drunk, we just make out with each other because, why not? I was just wondering if in places outside of my school that was normal or thought of as strange.
It's strange. It's not normal. It's very weird.
I don't know what
Mozart.
parties you go to, Mozart.
Mozart.
Stay at
Very
home.
Look at me. It's normal.
It's normal.
It's
you stay
normal.
at
It's
home.
sadly-
You stay at
it's-
home.
it's-
You're
And I
homeschooled.
was like, it's
Okay.
We were talking about
You were-
this.
okay.
We
Mozart,
no.
Mozart. Right now, you're up here. You right here. You bring it down, Mozart. Okay.
No, what I have
Yes.
to tell you is that when people are inebriated and over 18, girls do this. I don't know why, but they do. So I don't want her to feel weird because it's going on all over the world.
And don't ever tell somebody that that's wrong. Like that's you judging someone's behavior.
Weird.
It's not
She's
weird.
16. She hasn't experienced it yet. That's
No,
all.
like
But
I
not to
never,
mention though, but think about it. What if this girl is 13 years old or something and she's trying to find her identity
She shouldn't
and you
be
told
drunk.
her it's weird?
She
But
shouldn't
I'm
be
just
drunk.
saying, but that's another problem. I'm
Right.
just saying if someone's trying to find their identity and you call them weird, that's not going to help them learn to be comfortable in their skin, because if she is a lesbian, she needs to be comfortable in that and not be told it's weird. Do you know?
well, no, I mean, I'm not saying like it's weird that you're making out with like other girls. I'm just saying like like you're getting drunk and like all of your friends are making out with each other. That
As soon as you go to, here's what's going to happen. I'm sorry if her mom's listening, but this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You're an actor type. You're going to be in drama school. You're going to be doing the same thing. I guarantee it when you're in college. Every actor type does it. And if they tell you they didn't, they are lying.
No, but what she's saying is you may never kiss a girl or get drunk and want to kiss a girl, but you're going to see it. So you don't want to be judging other than if they're doing it on a dare from a boy because boys think it's sexy. Like, everyone should do what they want and don't get so drunk that you lose control over your decisions. It's a murky area for sure. Ken.
Okay, so
we were
I
talking
understand
about this.
what
We
you're saying,
said-
and we were talking about it.
We were.
So I don't know when you said it was weird. Okay, so when I'm saying it's weird, I mean where it's like it's not the best thing to do, because don't get me wrong, I have friends
Yeah.
that I used to hang out with, and they did the exact same thing. And I was like, wait, what's going on? Like, are you guys more than friends? She's like, oh no, we just do it because guys like it. There's nothing really added to it. They just do it because they like the attention that they get off of it, and they're good enough friends that they can do that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think it's wrong. Like, I'm not saying it's wrong, but you shouldn't be getting drunk at 16.
Well, we don't know her age exactly, but
I'm 16.
when I was 16,
It says I'm 16.
I would have said the exact same thing you said. I would, if someone told me about that and I hadn't yet seen it, I would have said it was weird. And you do. And when I went off to college, my sister said, Louise, you know, because I was a pretty square kid. She's like, you're going to be meeting a lot of kids and you can't just judge everybody. I'm like, okay. And like, it's good that she told me that, because I was I was square. I'm still pretty square, but like there's lots of people experimenting with lots of things, and you have to be open-minded. I don't want the kid writing this to feel like, oh, this is the only school where that happens, because trust me, yeah, Josh? Oh, who said no?
I said no, but
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, in general, like, I don't think it's weird. I think you'll later on in life. I mean, it happens. It's high school and it's college. It's like further in life too. Like it's natural, whatever.
But which brings me to this question: is it happening because those girls are drunk and want to kiss each other, but they're not really gay, or is it happening because guys think it's sexy and want them to, and they want to please the guys? Why is it happening? Maybe we could address that for a moment, because I never really fully understood
I think
it.
the first problem is they should not be drinking at 16.
Sure.
I mean, that's honestly like.
But what if they're 18 or 19? I don't really know.
Well, I mean, did you guys said that it says?
Oh,
she's
she is 16. Okay.
Yeah.
We have
Even 18 or 19, you're too young to know how to handle alcohol. And I'm 40 and I don't drink. Like, I just don't need it. And people think I'm drunk all the time because I'm just high on life. I was like, are you cheering me on, or do you have a question?
So when she raises her glass with pink, it's like Coca-Cola, you know.
Well, I told you.
And she
I'm a
would
Coke.
never
I'm a
be
Coke addict, but it's the Coca-Cola with the red label.
So I don't know why it happens. I certainly saw it happening and was confused as to why it was happening. And I guess I jumped to conclusions and thought, oh, well, they just are doing it because they think that their boyfriends think it's hot. They don't really want to kiss each other, and you shouldn't kiss each other just because a boy, like it was I had like a female empowerment sort of stubborn moment where I thought, why are you doing this just to turn guys on when you don't really want to do it? And then I passed through that phase of my life, and I never really answered that question. Why are girls doing that? Ken?
Oh yeah, I want to get this across, that it's like don't feel yourself as weird, but just make sure that if you're going to be doing that you're doing it for the right reasons. If you're doing it just to like get guys, like, it's not a wrong thing to be doing. If you genuinely like your friend and you like enjoy doing that, then by all means continue. But if you're doing it for the pure reason where like there's guys watching and it gets you guys attention, there's a plenty of other ways to get attention than making out with your friend at a party.
And you can always ask yourself, how do I feel in the morning after I've done this? I mean, does it
that's
feel like
good.
it's in integrity with who I am?
But you know that saying about how if it's on your lips when you're drunk, then it's in your heart?
Yeah.
Well, maybe they do want to kiss each other, and then they're finally drunk enough to kiss each other.
I do think
don't-
people use alcohol and drugs as a way to give an excuse to do things that they want to do. Absolutely. But I also saw a lot of girls in college do this without any alcohol or drugs. It's just something women are just explore that more openly explore that than guys do. It's just how we are. And I think society has made it be something that's abnormal, that's not. And probably more people would be bisexual if society didn't make it be an abnormal thing.
I think you're right. At least
Yeah.
from what I understand, having answered so many questions from kids for the past 5 years, I absolutely think you're right. I think there's more people that are on that spectrum that aren't just like fully on one side or fully on the other, but society says, oh, well, if you want to have a family, you have to choose a partner, and you may as well choose an opposite sex partner if you can fall in love with that, because then life will be much less dramatic, and so most people do. But it's certainly an interesting question that we could probably talk about forever, but I want to move on. And Ken, would you read the next question from Anonymous that starts with next year?
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, there's a spider. And it was
I don't know. My house has been
threatened.
infested by spiders. we're in the middle of a new horror movie / rock opera.
That was so weird. I was so sorry. You were just seeing. I was like, "Yep, that's a spider." So it's the next year, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next year, I am transitioning to high school. My dad has been on my case about working out and getting in shape for sports season. The thing is, I will be going to the same school as my sister went to, and sometimes I feel like her shadow. I don't really want to play sports because people expect me to be her, and I'm not. I realize she set a good example for me, but what if I just want to be me? What if I don't want to play anymore? What if I want to go to a different school where my sister isn't known? I just don't want to be her shadow anymore. That was extremely difficult.
I
I
mean,
thought you did a good job.
I mean, I don't necessarily know if you have the choice to go to a different school, but I would say, like, if you don't want to be in sports, draw that line now. Like, don't do something you don't want to do in high school because you'll be miserable the entire time. What's that?
Yeah, like talk to your parents about this because they're your parents and they'll understand that, because this is normal, like younger siblings and older siblings, like overshadowing. You don't want to be like them, but people expect you to be like them. Like that's totally like a thing that happens every single day. And you need to let your parents know that you don't want to be in her shadow and that you need to be your own person because, you need to be your own person. You can't constantly be in your sister's shadow. And like Josh said, you need to draw the line now before, you become a senior and maybe you have a football scholarship, but you're like, I don't want to do this. I want to be a writing teacher. So did that make sense?
It does make sense, but when her dad is saying you have to get in shape for sports season, my concern is that a lot of dads, especially, but moms too, have this rule that you have to at least be doing 2 sports or 1 sport in high school because they know that busy, tired kids are, better, happier kids. So she may have to do a sport, but then just don't do a sport that your sister did. And also go out for drama or go out for the school paper or go out for something that your sister never went out for so that people will see you as a distinct person. You won't be her shadow because you're not the same person. That only happens to little kids when mom goes to Macy's and buys 2 of the same outfit. Like that happens to little kids, but to bigger kids it's like, oh, I see that she has a completely different personality. Ken.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same, and I wish I could tell this person like, oh, that doesn't happen anymore. But I will sadly have to defer from you and say that, yeah, that still happens. There's these 2 brothers that go to my school, and one of them's better than the other one at the sport and just completely shadows the other one completely, and he gets no credit for really anything. And so it's definitely an issue, but let's say if they were both doing different things and they both excelled at different things, then there wouldn't be a shadow to be under. So just look for something that you want to do, something that you enjoy. Maybe you want to be an actor or a really good computer person. There's a better word for that, but I can't think of it.
There is.
But so just find your hobby and stick with it, and don't care about what other people think just or what your father thinks. You don't have to be under any specific type of person. Mozart.
Thank you. Yeah, and I feel like this is like an issue. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's more of an issue for girls than it is for guys, because I'm sure it's not. But I feel with girls, especially when they're teenagers and they've gone to the same school, there's definitely going to be like an overshadowing, because say like the younger sister is in 10th grade and the older sister is a senior, you know, all the guys are like, you know, can I get your sister's number? Like, your sister's so hot. And she constantly feels like, oh, guys never like me. They like my older hot sister, you know, if you get what I'm saying, because like that's like an issue, because I know 2 girls like that.
Also, teachers do it too.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
oh,
how
I
it
wish
is.
you were smart like Tiffany.
Yeah.
I can't believe you're her sister. Like, teachers say the weirdest things to kids. All right,
Like,
we
are
got-
you trying to help?
Yeah, you're not. Anonymous writes, what does it mean when a guy walks a female friend home late at night? He knew that by doing that, he couldn't take any transport back home and would have to walk a very long way.
He's a gentleman.
I think we
Yeah.
know what
A, he's a really big gentleman, or B, he wanted you to invite him in. Like, stop. Don't do that, Josh.
Could have been.
Don't
Coulda
do
been.
that, Josh. Don't do
There
that.
needs to be that one person that says it. Come on, because I
It
mean,
really depends on the age, because if,
I know,
they,
but you're like
if
15.
she has her own apartment, then he probably wanted to be
Well,
invited
okay,
in. Let's be
maybe
I mean,
that,
honest.
but-
not like in that way, but just like,
But
you
if she
know.
lives with her parents, he was just being super sweet.
But if you're in love, when you're like in love,
Yeah.
you want to spend every second with that person.
Like in
And if it-
Brooklyn.
you-
In Brooklyn,
But,
right?
like if it means that you're
The
gonna
movie,
have to
the movie.
walk the movie, yes.
Yeah, he walks her like everywhere.
Yeah, and if
Okay.
you have to walk, 3 miles by yourself, but you got to spend those 3 miles with her. I mean, we've all been. I hope you guys, you haven't. I hope you do find that. But like, we've all been in love where you stay up till 4 a.m, at a diner because you don't want to go home because you want to be with this person.
No,
I think
I
that's a good
felt
answer.
that.
Yeah, I think he's just being. I think the answer she wants is he likes you. That's the answer she's searching for, correct?
I mean, she didn't really say it in that type of light, because like it was a very like technical question.
Yeah, it's very
That's why
obtuse,
I've tried
too.
to dive in and see what she was going
Maybe
for.
she's just kind of like weirded out. It sounded to me, I mean, you could be right, but it sounded to me like it was very like, this guy did all of this for me, and I don't really know what to think about it.
He likes you.
Yeah, and that's
yeah,
the answer.
I think
Yeah.
so
For sure
too.
he likes you. The only question is, was he expecting sex, or does he just like you?
No.
Probably if you're under 18, he just likes you. If you're over 18, both.
Why is 18 just this
Because
like
you might have your own dorm room or something
Yeah.
at 18.
Okay, I got you.
Gotcha.
I got you.
You got me. All right, so we think he likes you, I guess. And maybe you should give him a ride home.
I just wanted to go back to a question.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to go back to a question where I feel really bad about that girl when she broke up with her boyfriend.
Okay.
And all we did was give her songs, and we didn't
Yeah.
answer her other
Yeah.
question.
I
Yeah.
thought of
I
that
answered
too.
it. I said space and time.
No, she said how. Oh,
No,
space
she
and time.
answered. I mean, that's really
So,
the
but
only
what do
answer.
you want to say? Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
Whatever.
Because she's like, does it get better?
oh, absolutely, it does.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I mean, it's like honestly, 500 Days of Summer, even though it is sad, it is really sad. But it's
Yeah.
like, it's a really good movie because like it takes a really long time for this guy to get over this girl, and he eventually finds a new one, and she gets married.
And her name's Autumn.
I don't know
No,
why.
I'm kidding. But
I don't know why that's so exciting
just-
for Mozart, but
just-
okay.
Cool. it's just cool.
She likes it when people are named after seasons.
No, because autumn's
symbolism.
after summer.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
it's the
it
yeah.
works in the movie.
500. Okay, I get
You
it.
get
Mozart.
it?
I get your excitement. I'm
Yeah.
very
It
happy
is
with
pretty
you.
exciting.
I'm happy
it's
with
really
you.
cool.
But I just wanted to know if anybody else had like advice for her, and that can you get over this? Just try your best to like live, because you would live a specific time of like life when you were
Live for
dating
yourself.
this person. Because when you're with someone, you have certain things that you do together,
Mm-hmm.
and just try to defer from that. Try new things, and that usually helps.
It is kind of
That
like
spunk.
a death where like every holiday that you're doing without her, you're going to compare to last year that you did. It is like a tiny death
Yeah.
or like a big death. I guess it just takes that year of doing it without the person and seeing that you can, because you just kind of look into forever and see that you're not with that person forever and there's nothing to look forward to. That's the saddest thing, especially that first breakup. I think it's I don't think there's anything harder than that.
Oh, I just went through my worst, and it was, I'm 40, so
So
I literally just went through my worst breakup, and it like
Wow.
well, I don't want to say breakup, like the worst heartbreak of my life.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But the only thing you can do, and people go, "How did you get over so fast?" I'm like, I'm not over, but you can't think about it. You can't think about our brains are the biggest liars. Like they will make up these stories and tell us, "Oh, he's with this other person, and he's so in love, and he's going to propose marriage." It's like, simmer down, brain. So you can't think about it, which is why I went back to songs like Pink, because I want to not think about those things. I want to be positive. I put myself into work. I have a friend now, and she's having the hardest time of her life because all she does is think about, well, it's not what I thought it was going to be. I don't have that person. And stop thinking about it. Like that's literally what you have to do. And that's why they also say, you find somebody new, whether that's they take it over, but it takes your mind off of it.
Do you have to find somebody new, or can you?
Well, somebody new may be a good friend or
A crush.
like I start to hang out. You hang out with your friends a lot more whenever you have a breakout. We would have these nights where we do a bonfire, and we would write things that we want to get over and throw them into the fire and just have girl bonding. Like you do anything at all but think about the guy.
Are girlfriends or guy friends, are they helpful during that period, or do they say things that just make you sadder?
If they're
Depends on the
good.
friends. Yeah.
Yeah, like what's a helpful thing to say to a friend that's going through this? Because it's one of those things where it's not something where someone tells you something like you're like, that's weird. It's they're telling you something that everyone has experienced,
Right.
and yet we never know what to say.
Because there's nothing you can say.
Well, I have a friend who's known me for 30 years, and whenever I'm going through a difficult period, he's always like, well, yeah, we've known each other for the last 25 years, and things have happened, and you're still not dead about this particular thing.
I love this guy.
Yeah.
That's you do go on, and you learn from that relationship. It was in your life for a reason. You taught each other whatever you were supposed to learn, and now it's going to be this next thing that life is pushing you towards, and you're like, no, I wanted to stay over here. And sometimes you just have to let go, get off social media. Don't look at what the person's doing.
Block
online
their
at
social
all.
media. Number one.
And like you said, the brain, how it messes you up. It also makes you think of all the good things and forget the things
All
that
the
you
horrible things.
Yeah, that you had
Yeah.
to go through, and just remember through all the good times that you guys went through, there were also bad things that you were finally getting out of after that relationship ended. So
Yeah.
Yes.
Concentrate on those. Be relieved.
And so, Chris, would you read the last question? Because I really like that question.
Don't hype it.
Don't hype it, Louise.
From a drum roll, please. From Anonymous. You know how girls like to be called beautiful princess? Well, what do guys like to be called?
Beautiful princess,
Big papa.
right?
Yeah.
No?
The Beast. Personal favorite.
That's a good one. Ken, what do you like to be called?
I just like the song when it goes, I like it when you call me Big Papa. Put your hands- yeah.
Please don't
But
listen to
I don't want to be called
Don't
that.
listen
I'm
to
just
Ken.
saying that it's a funny name that's enjoyable to hear.
Pops.
It's okay if we sing it, though.
But
right?
we can't be called it because that, no.
It's kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I think,
Thanks, Josh.
Josh, what do guys like to be called?
My name, just my name,
Josh.
Say my name. Say my name.
Yeah, get the name correct.
Yeah,
Like,
get
if
the name
it's Josh,
correct.
don't call him Chris. That's not good.
I mean, a lot of people call me
Like
Joshy.
you do. You call him Josh.
You don't call me.
I call
No,
everyone
he
the wrong name. Oh,
No,
I
you call Brady Josh.
call
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
the wrong name,
Oh,
honey.
God.
I have a lot of kids. There's a lot of kids on this show.
I mean, a lot of Joshy is what I get.
Joshy is very
Joshy.
cute.
Oh, Joshy.
Oh,
like that?
Joshy, you're
Like,
so
oh,
sweet.
Joshy.
But I mean, who
Oh,
here
Joshy.
in this room that is a female likes being called beautiful princess?
I mean, like, I wouldn't.
I was sitting there going, I don't know if I would hate it.
I wouldn't mind.
I'm good with it.
Like,
I'm
I'm
good.
good.
Depends on how you say it. Are you like, you're my beautiful princess? Or are you like, okay, you're going to be a beautiful princess about it?
If it's followed by a creepy laugh, then no.
But I mean, that's like everything. If
Well,
anything's said and then followed by a creepy
If
laugh.
it comes from Nigeria and it's asking for money, then no. I need help getting home, beautiful princess. See your profile picture, beautiful princess.
No, that's like somebody. No.
You know what I think would be a good thing to find out? Like, what is the spam that guys get on Facebook? Because I can tell you what girls get, but like we don't know what the other sex gets.
I mean, I get
Baby
weird
girl,
messages
what's
sometimes, and
your
it's just like
name?
send me back for a pic or something. I'm like, what the heck? Like,
Yeah, it's just like
where
someone
is
is
this
calling
from?
you right now. It's like,
I was like, where is this from? Like, and how did you get my phone number? Like,
That's what guys get?
yes, I
Wow.
can show you.
OMG, you got to see these pics, and they have like 2 friends.
Oh,
and
really?
then one of them is a mutual friend. I'm like, they fell for this?
It seems to be rampant where it's like some profile picture we have no mutual friends, and then his profile picture is the most recently posted picture. And I'm the first friend you added?
Yeah.
So
weird.
no.
Well, like
I
on
mean-
Kick, if you have Kick,
Kick gets weird.
no, like I get probably around 10 messages a day from like random people with like numbers like and letters as their usernames. Like, hey, is this Chris from the party last night?
No.
No, I get like I've gotten probably about 50 of those. Or, hey, your Kick name is the same as your Insta name. Wanna chat?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've
Which
messages
is
like that.
ironic because my Kick name is the same name as my Instagram.
I mean, that's how they messaged you in the first
That
place. I mean,
is-
if they,
no, I mean,
That's a conversation starter, right?
like, like, hey,
Do
is
you
this
like
Chris from the
puppies?
party last night? Like,
You
no.
guys have been wonderful. Where can we see your film after it's in festivals, or is it going to be posted online or on Hulu eventually?
That's so far off. So please come on June 3rd and fill our 400 seats. You can go to seethebreakout.com and buy tickets. It's
Okay,
very
so if you're
simple.
in the Los Angeles area, go to seethebreakout.com and purchase tickets. And where will they be going in Los Angeles to see the film?
At the iconic Chinese theater in
Oh,
Hollywood.
the Chinese Theater in Hollywood, which is going to be fantastic.
And you can hang out with us after a little party, and we might feed you if you show us your ticket.
And
Just saying.
and people will get to meet you.
Yeah, we'll
There's
hang
food
out. We'll be
involved.
buds.
you will feed the people.
I will feed the people.
Okay.
What else would we feed?
I mean, I didn't mean like
The
feed
pigeons.
actual people.
The
I mean like
confusion.
you
Like,
will.
what else would we
They will
feed?
come. They will show you your ticket and be like, okay, and then you'll give them a grape. Like, is that how it's gonna?
One grape
That would be
apiece.
way cheaper. Can we do that instead?
We have a bigger budget than that.
But I don't know. It depends on how desperate we are. We might sit down and feed you.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be
pigeons.
full.
Like a
Standing room
raisin.
only.
I hope.
I'm looking
all
forward
the
to it.
cast will be there. All the crew. Well, most of the cast will be there.
All right. Another issue for another show. Thank you for being with us. You've been most wonderful guests. We are Journals Out Loud, and we will see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Oh, thank you.
Waiting for the drums.